Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, water. Femi Ojo is my name. Good to have you join us today. And of course, Evelyn is here, the lady in black. Good morning.
Good morning, Femi. How are
Yeah,
you doing
very
today?
well. Thank
Good
God for
morning,
life.
people. It's Friday, TGIF. Thank God it's the weekend.
Mm,
How are you doing? Trust you had a restful night
well,
and hope you are up this morning to another beautiful day and to make it count. My name is
well.
Evelyn Ohiolei, welcoming you to the last installment of Morning Spring
Mm,
for this week. Thank
mm,
you for all you have been to us and been with us through the
mm,
week.
very well. Exactly. That is what he has been, a very worthy partner. We on this end, they are the other end as well. And as Evelyn said, this weekend in edition, we'll be looking at what is happening within the country, and as we usually do, sometimes beyond the shores of the country, just like we did yesterday, international relations and diplomacy, the situation in the Middle East. But today we'll be traveling to one of the states in the South to see to what is happening there. But then, of course, trust us to read out the headlines for my major dailies today. And that's exactly what we are going to do right now. Stay with us. All right, let me kick it out from the front page of The Guardian for today. The Guardian newspaper. Nigerian teachers. This big story on pages 4 and 5. Nigerian teachers, lured by passion, imperiled by political class and broken system. Very instructive headline. Nigerian teachers, lured by passion, imperiled by political class, and then broken system. You can see a pictorial depiction of the situation where a teacher is there wearing clothes that are tattered, and of course, under the armpit is a very big book with an empty pocket, and of course, still trying to teach. And you can see what is on the board. Would you like to become a teacher? Of course, you could see the faces of the student there. And one of the students even answering, saying politics is more lucrative. That is on the front page of The Guardian. There, you can see the situation of the set teacher, lured by passion, imperiled by political class, and a broken system. All right, so below that, ASU, Nigeria in hopeless state, situation worse than in 1984. You can see the picture of Professor Emmanuel Oshodeke there, the ASU national president. And beside that, Bureau knocks Lagos State government officials for failure to file and submit asset forms. Of course, you have the front page of the Guardian on your screen right now. Bureau knocks LASG, that is Lagos State government officials, for failure to file and submit assets forms. And here, court grants Taraba ex-governor Ishako 150 million naira bail in alleged 227 billion naira fraud suit. Interesting. The suit, the allegation he's standing trial for is 27 billion naira fraud suit. But then that's Darius Ishako, has been granted a bail of 150 million naira. Just below that again, your days are numbered, says federal government as bandits dare Tinubu, ECOWAS 5,000 man force. Tinubu submit tax reform bills to National Assembly, may rename FIRS. Moving on, amid amid food inflation concerns, MBS claims average healthy diet now 1,255 naira. Take that again. Amid food inflation concerns, Nigeria Bureau of Statistics claims average healthy diet now 1,255 naira. See one of our production staff giggling right now. You know, and the situation. 1,255 naira. How healthy is such a diet, Evelyn?
I mean,
1,255.
if it's
Averagely.
just a meal, I would have said okay, it can pass. But
Yeah, just a meal.
healthy diet. Let's just
Okay, diet.
look at the cost of fruits. The cost of fruits, I tell you, is going to take maybe a quarter of this now before you take on all other things that you need to prepare the meal, and also the gas you're going to use. Or are they saying that the people should make use of charcoal or whatever, or wood? Because really,
average meal.
well, they said average healthy diet.
Could be
so
anything.
it could be exactly.
Somebody might say a measure of pap with money, and then with water.
Is it to be bought? If you're telling me okay to buy the food, yeah, probably, yeah. But how healthy is a food that you bought somewhere that is not homemade? You get so
something must give.
But if it's you cooking it at home, I'm sure it's going to be more than 1,250.
All right, and then averagely in Nigeria, there's the thing is quite ambiguous. This particular claim by the MBS, because are you talking about average meal in Kano, in Taraba, or in Osun, or in Rivers? Because the inflation in these places are quite different. But then they said averagely now. Moving on. Tension as pro-Wike Fubara camps head for climax in Rivers Council polls. We'll be looking at that in the course of the program, and that will be all from the front page of The Guardian.
And from the Guardian newspaper this morning, we head on to the Punch newspaper. On the Punch newspaper, crude for loans. NNPCL votes 8 million barrels monthly for $8.8 billion debt. This is according to a report. And the writer there says, firm repays $2.61 billion or $6.25 billion as Nigeria loses 264 million crude barrels to theft. Others. And just below that particular headline, IOM repatriates 180 Nigerians stranded in Libya. Every other month you hear a headline like this, you hear a story like this of Nigerians brought back to the country from Libya. And, every day you hear the director of NIDCAM, Abike Dabirewa, telling these people that you do not have to go to Europe through whatever the road means. There are people, the road, the boat means. And if you know that you're going to a particular location and you have not sorted out things for yourself, really, then there's no need you moving out of the country in the first place. But people would say it's better for me to die trying than for me to, die here without trying at all. But it is what it is. 180 Nigerians brought back to the country and they were stranded in Libya. And I dare say that we will still have another story like this, really. The top corner from the Punch newspaper, Tinubu plans to bar customs, NPA, others from revenue collection. A lot of people have actually jumped on this conversation and saying that it is a applaudable move by the president to actually do this. And it's trying to actually eradicate multiple taxation for Nigerians. But then
does it really eradicate multiple taxation? The tax are there. It's only the agencies collecting that are multiple. But now maybe they are trying to centralize the collection. Which agency will handle that? If it's the FIRS, do they have the wherewithal to do that? Will it be technologically based or it will still be manual?
Well, wait for the content of the tax reform bills that has been sent to the National Assembly. And also, we hear that the FIRS may be renamed. More stories coming from the Punch newspaper this morning. October 1 deadline. Naira for crude deals fails to take off. And outside Nigeria, Iran summons envoys as Israel intensifies Beirut bombing. Fulbara insists on LG poll amid protest by Wike allies. That you can find on page 20 of the Punch newspaper. And 36 corpses recovered in Niger boat crash. You know that particular sad news that has been in the public space in the couple of days. Now we hear that 36 corpses have been recovered in Niger boat crash. A sad one, but then we hope that the government will do the needful to educate, create awareness for people, and also make available the resources they need to travel on water. Talk about water safety. I think it's high time our government, worked on this. That will be all from the Punch newspaper this morning.
All right. I hope we will learn from that situation because some issues were happening and then all kind of tongues will be wagging and speeches will be made, panel of inquiry, investigations will be set up, and then you will know after like a week or two, you won't hear nada. And then, sadly, another one will happen. To the Vanguard right now, the Vanguard newspaper. Minimum wage disquiet as federal government makes selective payment. Selective payment. Now, listen to the writers. Labor leaders key say government insensitive to suffering of workers, and workers lament hardship, many sleeping in offices. So what's the quality of life? This particular case, when you leave your home in the morning and you have to sleep in the office so that you don't spend everything you have on you on transportation. Trek to work due to high transport costs. Now, let's take it bit by bit. Workers lament hardship. Now, many sleep in office, and those who don't even sleep in office, many of them trek to their place of work so that they won't expend everything, in the middle of all this. And when you ask the government handlers, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Nigerians are saying, well, we can't even see the tunnel. Talking about that is like the tunnel is crashing right now, and there are some persons above the tunnel living large, but the rest of the people are inside the tunnel with dim, gloomy darkness, because this is really dark. When people leave their home, trek to their place of work, for somebody that would trek to the place of work that is very far, the person has to catch his or her breath, for some minutes before you can even do anything. By the time you are relaxed, as they say, once you are relaxed, your body calms a bit. Maybe the fan blows out your breeze and then you want to sleep off because you're already tired. At the end of the day, you don't want to go home because the small money you have on you should not be expended on very costly transportation. That is the situation of many Nigerians, especially as been reported by Vanguard this morning. And delay affecting productivity, is expected. The mind is expecting already, what they say about hope delayed, maketh their heart to faint. That is one of the wordings of the Holy Bible. In this case, they are excited. The payment will be done, backdated to July. Around July, right? And then July, August, September has ended, And here, varsity workers, worst hit, SANU. By the way, that reminds me, many youth corps members were very excited when the announcement was made. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? About the approval of 77,000 naira. The same July was given as the date that the payment would be backdated. All of a sudden, many of them didn't get the alert as I went due, maybe towards the end of the month last month, and they were being relaxed. Oh, maybe the payment is being reworked to reflect the 77,000 naira. By Sunday and Monday, many of them collected their alawi. Tada!
It was 33.
3,000 naira. You need to see the lamentation on social media space. The question is, Evelyn, and which you must ask our leaders, why come out with information that the workings, the readiness is not yet there?
If someone
why do governments do this? You just throw something at them, and then the whole thing is now ceased, and everybody is just rumor, and nobody is even saying anything about the situation. when you know the 77,000 is not ready, when you are ready, just say it today and you start the payment today. Is it too hard for us to do as a country?
It's not too hard, but
Come
then
on.
probably it's too hard for those that are supposed to implement it. But then someone once said that when it has to do with the people, there is foot dragging.
I'm
But when
telling
it
you.
has to do with them,
Absolutely.
it's done even before it's announced.
Yeah.
And I have actually followed the trend, especially with this administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that before any big day, you would have a major announcement just to douse the tension and to make the people happy.
You're saying it's a pattern, right?
Go look at the trend on June 12th last year, Democracy Day, there was a major announcement.
Yeah.
On October 1 last year, there was a major announcement. May 1 this year, there was a major announcement that was not followed through, by the way. Do you get? So for every major
when the NLC said they were going to go on a full-blown strike,
exactly,
and everybody, they shut down nation or the end bad governance, then the approval of the minimum wage came inside. And now the October one and what is it now? This fearless this thing, the announcement of the NYC increment in allowance.
Yeah.
But now, a week or 2 weeks later, nothing.
It's been a trend with this administration, and I hope that the handlers of the government and also the president himself would actually change this narrative so people are not already immune to announcements like this.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it doesn't look like an administration of promise and fail. People will tell you it's better, don't tell us anything at all, so you don't get our hopes up there.
Exactly.
Than for you to tell us we are waiting, and at the end of the day, nothing shows.
More than 2-3 months down the line for the minimum wage, we don't have the full implementation. And we're hearing maybe there's selective payment. Why not work everything in as much you have agreed? But when the conversation of the purchase of the plane came up, just a few weeks after,
exactly,
even when they were denied, the presidency denied that, when somebody came up and said, we saw this particular plane at a particular hangar in a particular airport, they said nothing like that happened. I remember we read it on the show. The National Assembly said the proposal has not gotten to them, but if actually it gets to them, they might get to approve it. All of a sudden, the president wanted to go to France. Brand new plane. Just around that time, brand new Escalade. If Nigerians are keeping quiet, I think we are the most resilient. But that resilience, instead of being a compliment, is now like an handicap on Nigerians to say it's like an albatross. It's not really a good thing again, because you can't take people for a ride for long. Well, how much is 33,000 naira and the increment that has made to 77,000 naira? Exactly, for young people.
It's a sad situation here.
I'm sure a nation that the leaders, people at the helm of affairs at all levels, don't have a regard for the feelings of their residents, for their citizens. That's not the kind of nation anybody. And you want to stay top, young persons, stay around. There is hope in this country. Don't japa. Well, that's not my call to make. All right, moving on. At Nan's first international lecture, you have some countrymen there. A lot of them, from our head of state, Abdulsalami Abubakar, the Minister of Information, Mr. Idris there, the NSA, Nuhu Ribadu, and a host of others. Plus of time. Moving on, reps to AGF. This particular picture was taken at NANS, News Agency of Nigeria's first international lecture. Now, below that, reps to AGF expedite trials of persons in prolonged detention. I think that's the way to go. I was thinking about the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. Was yesterday or 2 days ago, and I feel let's just reach a conclusion with this guy. If you are going to jail him. If you are sentencing him to whatever, time, let it be done. It's looking more like, some will say that it's just persecution. It's not looking like justice again. Now, court to VIO and others, you have no power to seize vehicles and impose fines, okay? And PDP, APC, I think, road users are listening right now and are watching us to know of this information. But then sometimes you want to imagine or you want to ask, Are the VIOs aware?
Exactly. I was just about to say that. This should actually be channeled
I'm
to
telling you.
the VIOs. I mean, it is what it is. There was a time that the IG made an order, gave a directive that
Yeah.
no police officer has the right to check any citizen's phone, during stop and search, but you still see them come out and say, give me your phone, let me check your phone and all that.
And especially for young persons, the moment you say, oh God, you don't have a ID, poor.
Exactly. So I
They
feel
lash on them.
this should be directed to the VIO agency itself and the other agencies that these
You go on the seminar and
captured.
update them.
Exactly. But it's not as if even if they are updated, some will not still be.
Because they might say, oh, it's you that know the law. They have not told us about that
Exactly.
particular one.
It is what it is.
Yeah, PDP, APC protest the Rivers local government elections. Rivers. And on the sporting scene, AFCON 2025 qualifier, we will approach Libya game like World Cup final. Okay, Eguavoin there, the standing coach of the Super Eagles, and Niger boat mishap. 70 bodies recovered. You know, a paper we read earlier says 36. Now, Vanguard is reporting 70 bodies. That's quite a disaster that happened there of very great significance. Now, says ill-fated boat on illegal operation. Tinubu mourns victims, Governor Bago rather talks tough on frequent mishaps. Okay, talking tough. And loss of lives and property. By the way, I think Channels Television posted a particular video and said that was the boat. You know, I think somebody took a video of that particular boat. Evelyn, you need to see that boat. At most, that boat should not be carrying more than maybe 50. But it was like, you know, the figurative way of saying people are packed like sardine. That was exactly the way it was. And you could see that this thing is headed for disaster already. So choked.
Yeah.
And, you know, don't let's be reckless as a people, please. And Mr. and Mrs. Corner here, men should beware today's women are as unpredictable as the internet. If you log into their website carelessly, you get a deadly virus into your system. And Mr. with some grin on his face with hands in his pocket says, today's men are more professional. They are up to date with the latest and powerful antivirus. I think it's a toxic relationship. That'll be all from the Mr. and Mrs. Corner.
All right, moving on to Nigerian Tribune for today. Tinubu to terrorists, bandits surrender or face renewed military onslaught. With rider poverty, unemployment, contributory causes of insecurity in the Sahel. This is credited to Abdusalami, and a multi-dimensional approach needed to address insecurity, CDS says. The president is talking to terrorists. It's better you surrender. It's better you come. You know, let's know what we can do for you, or you face renewed military onslaught.
Why are you reading it like that? You know, I remember during the very disastrous September 11th terrorist attack in 2001, President Bush wasn't the one in charge then.
Yeah.
You can still, you know, watch the tape online. The message was not about come and surrender.
Yeah.
We will find you.
Yeah.
We will root you. We will eliminate you. And that's exactly what they did. Even while he was not in power again, the subsequent president followed through by, you know, ripping off Osama bin Laden and his full soldiers, even almost 10 years later. These are the way it's done. Our president is telling who to surrender. Oh, yeah, come and let us come and talk.
All right, let's move away from there.
Really?
Lagos FG signed MOU to upgrade Ekpe General Hospital to Federal Medical Center. And Nigeria plunged to hopeless state. ASU, you know, when ASU is in the news, it's one of two things.
Given a 35 days, you know, warning.
It means
notice.
A strike may be looming.
Yeah.
Enugu is back to life under Mba. That's coming from VP Shatima. Commissions Enugu Garment Fashion Hub. And tax reforms, Tinubu asks NAS to repeal FIRS, establish Nigeria Revenue Service. Well, the rider initiates 4 tax bills, wants establishment of tax appeal tribunal, tax ombudsman. That's on page 4 of Nigerian Tribune. Moving to the top corner, senators back bill for South-South Development Commission, say it is different from NDDC. NDDC to undergo name change. I mean, there are a lot of christening going on in the government space, change of names, new agencies springing up. But then, Femi, South-South Development Commission, don't you think it's a replica of the Niger Delta Development Commission? They're saying that it's different from the NDDC.
Whatever they need to do, let them do. But then don't let it be a waste again. Don't let it just be a replica of something, or somebody trying to create something for the boys. Something to just hanging on for the boys to maybe there are some individuals that have not been settled. Let's just do something to settle them. And this bill that we are hearing, that the policy of renaming FIRS, for the collection of taxes and all of them, whatever they want to do. See, Evelyn, I think you and I, maybe the airlines, we are the one, informed. We are the one that are concerned with some of these policies. Some Nigerians, many Nigerians don't care about whatever you do. Just do something that will make life better for us. Whatever the grammar, the jargon, the policy, the framework, the technical know-how, handle it from there. But somebody somewhere is watching us right now that what he wants to do is he or she wants to work. She can work. Let the atmosphere be there. Let the person be able to carry his or her goods, and the transportation fare will not have taken off the gains that the person wants to have. That is what concerns Nigerians. Whatever you want to do, you are just talking about the food dragging. And it's looking like it's intentional. You just talked about the pattern. And if anybody is putting in mind to what has been happening, especially in the last 14, 16 months, you will know this is more like a pattern already. Throw something at them, let them have something to cheer about, and then wait till they talk, and then maybe you start it at the end of the day. When it has to do with the people, have you ever seen a day that the National Assembly members protested and said there was something they are supposed to get, and they didn't get? Even opposition members. The only time you see protests is when they are sharing committees. And then you see maybe some opposition members say, oh, they are not giving us juicy something. And then yesterday or 2 days ago, 360 reps members vetoed, signed the bill jointly to say, oh, this thing you have given to our leader is ridiculous also. It's not our own. All of a sudden, something was done yesterday. The reaction happened today. So the priority where it lies. And everybody, as they say on the street, everybody know what they do. Exactly.
Protest in Rivers over LG election. We're going to be talking more about that when we go to the conversation. And court bars VIO from confiscating vehicles, imposing fines. That's on page 5 of Nigerian Tribune, and that will be all from the Nigerian Tribune this morning and the newspaper review segment for today. Hang in there, we'll go for this breather. When we return, it will be time to move to the conversation proper. What do we have on our plate? We're going to Rivers State. A lot is happening in Rivers State. The political tension there is up high. The PDP against the governor, and also the local government election coming up soon. Let's see what we have there. We're going to be speaking to a major stakeholder. Do not go anywhere. Morning Spring will be right back. APP.
I know.